Flesh series, huh? Sex, lust, porn, and the Christian, God's design for sex, tagged men, marriage, and the Trinity? This ought to be good. Hi, my name is Scarlett, and I'm an atheist and skeptic, and lately I've been doing a set of videos on sin, and I came across this Crew website. Initially, there was one for women on the Desire series, and it was lots of things about how women were supposed to approach sex. This one is for men, and it is called the Flesh series. Now, I do like that difference. For women, it's desire. For men, it's flesh. The women's series was illustrated with these pretty pictures of doors with some nice little plants. The men's series has faces on it, and here is this woman's face looking very happy. I'm not sure why they chose to show women. They're not showing the men, but there you are. So let's just get into it. Let's find out what the Trinity has to do with men and marriage. There is no original evil, for as Peter Kreeft writes, evil can't be greater than good because evil is a bent good, a diseased good, a parasite on good. I don't know who this Peter Kreeft is. We don't have any reference in this. I don't know where it comes from. I could Google it, but it's not even at the bottom of the page. There's not a reference for this, so I don't know. I don't know if what he writes is correct because I don't believe that there is something that is really called evil. I think evil is a label we put on a set of behaviors that cause a great deal of harm and destruction in our lives. So I don't know if you say that it's bent good or diseased good or a parasite on good. I have heard Christians say that God did not create evil. He created good, and evil is the absence of good. But again, you have to think that these things exist outside of human action, which I don't. So, and it's interesting that we start with this notion of evil here, because what we're going to go to is God has a design for sex, and in the absence of that design, you are sinning, you are doing evil. Anyway, so we go on. You cannot have destruction without something to destroy. Yeah, I guess that's true. You cannot have bulimia without the joy of eating to corrupt. I don't know that that's true. You have to have eating to have bulimia and other eating disorders, but I don't know if bulimia is the corruption of joy. My understanding of bulimia is it's about controlling your body and reactions to other things in your life. But anyway, I just think that's a bad analogy. I'm not sure why we're going there. You could not have sexual immorality, perversion, and pornography if the beauty and joy of sex and marriage had not come first. Well, you need sex to have anything that you consider bad about sex, and you have to have a concept that there's a beauty and joy that can be corrupted. And I don't know, I'm not really a big believer in things that are like sexual immorality. I do think that people can have perverted thoughts and issues, and I don't see pornography as a problem. But I know that's what this series is all about, because it's all about sin and not using sex in a God-approved way. Let's see what happens next. So, before we discuss lust, sexual immorality, or pornography, we need to begin with God's original design. We need to start with the beauty of marriage and the goodness of sex when God called things good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. We're in Genesis 1. This is just a very weird place to start because it has nothing to do with marriage and nothing to do with sex. It is just the creation of beings, and this could just go. We could just take most of this out because it has nothing to do with God's design for marriage or sex or anything. Just like God created stuff. And of course, we know that God didn't create this stuff in this way. This is all wrong based on what we know about science. All right, so this is some filler, blah, blah. Let's see where we go next. Marriage and sex, a picture of the Trinity. Oh my. What jumps out from this account in Genesis chapter 1 is the clear multiplicity of the creation called man. That's pretty weird. You know what's pretty weird is this page. I don't understand the multiplicity of the creation called man. Like, according to the Bible, he created man in his image, and he created the sexes. But I don't understand the multiplicity. Obviously, in Genesis, God created a bunch of stuff. And I don't know what's weird about it. But anyway, it's in this multiplicity that we are in God's image. Do tell. This is makes no sense to me. In other words, man and woman together are in the image of God. The union of the two is a picture of many things. Among them is the relationship of the Trinity. Unity in diversity, one God, three persons. This makes absolutely no sense. So the Trinity is three, and the sexes are two, and so the sexes are like the Trinity. And please explain this further for me. Maybe it goes on. Let's see. 20th century theologian Karl Barth put it this way: man never exists as such, but always as the human, male or female. Nor can he wish to liberate himself from the relationship and be man without woman or woman apart from a man. Think then of the profundity of sex within the context of marriage, two becoming one flesh, literally. Okay, like so many people, you don't know what literally means. They don't literally become one flesh. It is true that there is a way their bodies fit together, so they're like a being, I guess. I don't know. I think this is a terrible way to think about it. But they don't become one flesh. I know the Bible says that. I don't know who Karl Barth is. It's, again, not cited anywhere, and I think that this is more filler. None of this makes any sense. But here we go. Marriage and sex are like the Trinity, people. Go figure. Moving on. There is nothing else on the planet that comes as close to manifesting an image of one God in three persons as sex. I'm not even sure that comes close to manifesting an image of one God if there are three people in God and there are two people having sex. I mean, unless God intended three ways to be the way we go about it. I don't know. It should now be quite clear how miraculous the event of sex is for that which it imitates. I don't understand what this means. This is not miraculous. People having sex is not miraculous. I mean, it might seem really great. It might be some great sex, but it's not miraculous. Animals have sex too. Is that miraculous? Does that remind us of anything? I don't know. It should also be clear why Satan would want to scrawl graffiti across it more than any other work of God's creation, defacing it in any and every way imaginable, making the image unintelligible. Well, that's some words right there. I don't know why it's clear that Satan would want to scrawl graffiti across it. I don't understand, and how is Satan making the image unintelligible? By the way, let's note the lack of Bible references for any of this, and we're not even quoting anybody anymore. Where did this come from? Sex not only reflects the structural unity of God, the structural unity of God, is he a high-rise? Two individuals becoming one flesh, thank you for repeating that, but also mirrors the joy and complete satisfaction that this unity brings. The structural unity of God mirrors the satisfaction of unity. All right, this idea may sound weird. Oh yeah, it sounds weird, all right. But the enjoyment, or fun if you will, I love that little clarification. The enjoyment or fun, if you will, of sex is extremely glorifying to God because it reflects the joy and satisfaction the Trinity experiences. The Trinity's up there in heaven having fun, y'all. Having orgasms just nonstop. Oh, what an image. What an image. On the other hand, lifeless, forced, unenjoyable sex, or a dissatisfying marriage, symbolizes something that is not true of God's unity. Therefore, the design of sex is for enjoyment every bit as much as for procreation. That, therefore, is doing a lot of work. And I don't even know, in marriage, even these so-called God-approved marriages, sex can sometimes be forced, it can sometimes be unenjoyable, it can sometimes be lifeless. You could go through periods that your marriage is not satisfying, and then other times where it is. This is not 0 to 100. So this is just all weird. Let's just go with that. It's just all weird. And again, no Bible verses. I don't know what you're basing this on. It's just a bunch of words on a page. A third purpose of the design of sex and marriage is procreation. Oh, wow. So that's in place 3. Now, I'm losing track of... he didn't say the first purpose and the second purpose of sex. All I've seen is sex and marriage reflect the Trinity. I think I missed something in here of what the second purpose is. But anyway, the third purpose is procreation. All these Christians running around saying, oh, it needs to be about procreation. True love and unity cannot help but bear fruit. Well, what about people who can't have children? What do you say to them? In a fallen world, this is not always realized. Oh, I forgot. We're in a fallen world and nobody picks it up. But it is an essential feature of the original design. The original design did not have a bunch of people in it at all. It was supposed to be Adam and Eve like ruling over everything. So none of this makes any sense at all whatsoever. You're just like making up stuff. Again, no Bible verses, vamping off of nothing. Let's see where we go next. A thrilling look ahead. Our view and vision of sex and God's plan for our sexuality is all too low. Speak for yourself. I don't even know what you're talking about. For most of us, marriage is in God's plan. Therefore, sex will be in God's plan for us. Not just a transactional physical connection, but one that shakes heaven with its holy power. Bible verse needed here, like anything needed here. Like, what are you even talking about? I've got news for you. Jesus will not be having sex with your wife. Oh, do tell. You will, and you will have the privilege and responsibility to offer her something that no one else in the world can. And Jesus is chest-bumping thrilled. Chest-bumping thrilled about his empowering ability to give you what it takes to literally touch her soul in the marriage bed. Okay, so Jesus is not the one having sex with you, but he's like the Viagra. What is going on in this page about the design for sex? Oh my God. He enables you to have something powerful, unique, and mysterious occur. I guess they don't believe in the Oxford comma on this page. When you relate with her in a way that offers something only you can give and only he has authorized. Yeah, this is just a few more words that I don't know how you know this. I don't know where it comes from. Citation fucking needed. This is just weird. All right, let's wrap up some of this. Think about it this way. Others can impact your wife through friendship, care, advice, spiritual input, etc. I can't decide to stop thinking of stuff that could impact your wife. No one, however, will be bringing her to a holy nakedness and sexual intimacy. That will be your job and your pleasure. This kind of intimacy makes the thrill of union with your bride worth waiting for. God's design for sex and marriage shouts to the universe, look how great God is. But sexual immorality and pornography scream of self-centeredness, abusive and manipulative love. These degradations suggest a God who does not adequately provide and whose ways do not wholly satisfy. Hey, you're the one saying it. I didn't say it. You're the one saying that God's not providing everything that you need to satisfy. This understanding of God is what's at stake. This is what the battle of purity is really about. We will either be vehicles and vessels that bring praise and glory to God, or pawns used as insults for Satan to hurl against God. All right, so here we go. Let's just summarize what this page is about. God's design for sex is for you to get married with this one person for life, and your sexual union, which they say makes you literally one flesh, is supposed to imitate a Trinity, which, let's remember, the Trinity, not just that it's 3, but it's 3 dudes in one, because they're all supposed to be men. So I don't know why you're all like off of gay sex and stuff, because like it seems like 2 dudes in bed would be much closer to the Trinity, but okay, whatever. And then like Jesus is up there cheering for you as you're having sex, and this shakes the heavens, and that's all right. But if you don't do it that way, if you like get the wrong person, you're not properly married, like the correct words haven't been said over you, that's Satan. That's hurling insults against God. I don't know where you get any of this. I don't understand where any of this comes from. And there are no notes or references or anything. So this is just somebody's, like, it's worse than somebody's opinion, and it's just so disorganized and weird. Just plain weird. There's one more little bit at the end of here. Next steps. Number 1, read Ephesians chapter 5, verses 22 through 33. Note that the passage says that we are to love our wives as we do our own bodies, and twice says that we are to love her as we love ourselves. Make a list of ways that you care for yourself, the hopes that you have for yourself, and the things you want to be true of your life. Reflect on offering these things to your wife one day. How might this make a difference in the way you approach holiness and your sexuality today? Well, except for the part about holiness, I do think that there are some nice ideas in here about taking care of yourself. I think everybody should learn to take care of themselves and feel good about themselves, and that will make their relationships with other people better. So that's not too bad. Number 2, is there at least one other man, 2 or 3 would be even better, that you can make a covenant with to honor your future wives with your sexuality? What might it look like to support one another in this pursuit? Yeah, I would like to see what a couple of dudes getting together promising that they're going to honor their wives with their sexuality one day. I'd like to see what that looks like. I'd like to know, what do you think that looks like? And what do you think of all of this? How about this? 2 people having sex reminds us of the Trinity. Put it in the comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this Trinitarian sexual orgasming kind of thing that's going on this page. While you're down there, you can like, subscribe, and do all the YouTube stuff. You're on YouTube, you know what to do. And if you like what I do, you can buy me a coffee. That link is down in the description below. And I'll see you sometime soon. Bye for now.